Oh man, what a picture! Do you know what, people? What a picture! What a picture! I might get that one framed. You want to look it for? I might get that one framed. I might have to get that one framed. Oh man, Jordan Pickford, man. Jordan Pickney. I'm not trying to hear his name. You see it. But listen, we are back for another episode of Bigsixbants. It is the Liverpool show, obviously coming to you every Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's about time I made it a weekly thing again. You know what I'm saying? But I just got off from having a shouting match with on Never a Foul with Troops and the Man. And what a stream. Make sure you tune into that on the way back, people. It was a big one still. But let's pause. That's gotta stop. I'm doing man. G, stop laughing backstage. G, stop laughing backstage. That's the second time I've done this shit. I swear down. But listen. It is a Liverpool show. This is kind of what's Liverpool going to do next? So we're bringing you some content just before the Champions League football. So make sure the first thing you guys do is slap the like button, and we're going to talk some football talk, a little bit more in depth of what's happened in the game. And of course, you guys will get my instant match reaction from yesterday coming out around tomorrow morning time. I was going to release it today, but there's too much going on with the Champions League football and whatnot. But listen, my first guest, obviously, it's his first time on the channel, and he is Klopp's defender. I'm not even African, but I sounded African, right? Klopp's defender. The number one defender. That he is Klopp's shield. He's the iron bars for Jurgen Klopp. But he's not deluded with it. He's very, very, very knowledgeable, very well spoken, knows what he's talking about. And I think he's still a breath of fresh air on what he brings with the ideas surrounding Jurgen Klopp and what the solution is to what's going on at Liverpool. He does get it quite different. He gets it quite, rough on Hassam's channel, but I don't think it will be quite like that over here. I think, we have a Klopp in and a Klopp out. But first, I'm going to start with the Klopp in. Again, the guy's doing brilliant work in what he's doing. As I said, I can't stress enough how knowledgeable he is as a football fan. Curtis, bro, how you doing, bro? First time on the channel.
Thank you, Mons. Thank you for having me, man. Sorry, my voice sounds a little bit croaky. I was at the game yesterday.
Don't apologize for that. Don't apologize for that.
voice has gone a little bit. I'm still stuck up north. The trains were cancelled today, so I had to get another night in another hotel. So I'm a little bit tired, but yeah, man, good to be on. Thank you for having me on, bro. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it very much.
Of course, man. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for jumping on in it. We're gonna obviously get the next guest on as well straight away. It's gonna be slightly shorter stream today. But G, I'm talking like he's already on the stream. But again, he is Klopp out. I don't know whether the game has sort of maybe swayed his opinion a little. We're gonna get that when he jumps in. But obviously, another one of my brothers, been there for a long time. Finally got his channel going. Finally, you know what I'm saying? Took him long enough. But he got there in the end, you know what I'm saying? So make sure first thing you guys do is also go over and support him in everything that he's doing as well. As I said, very, very knowledgeable, very brutally honest, does not give a dash what anyone else thinks. And I think that is the best way to be. And that's why he is where he is. G, nearly said treats for a second. He's selling it. Like, this guy's still getting my head, fam.
You're still in your head, mate. Don't let these guys get into your head, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Kurds, big up your damn self. Mons, big up your damn self, man. Yeah, good win yesterday, man. Good win, man. I think it's about time that we started talking something positive when it comes to Liverpool. Yeah, and yesterday was a decent win. It was a decent win still.
Yeah, no, it was a decent win. I think obviously there's a lot of whispers. There's a lot of shouts that Liverpool people, rival fans want us to kind of fall into the way back trap. And I think we need to sort of just steer away from that and just let us celebrate the win for the win itself. Not for what's to come next. Not for if we can get top four. Not for the game against Real Madrid. This is an Everton team where you can argue on one side they batted up the best team in the league. But you can argue on the other side that they're the worst team in the league. So, whichever side of the fence you sit on, I still think we need to just enjoy this win for what it is and just now hope that we can build off the win. It's, for me, one game at a time. I'm gassed that we won, but there is a such thing as derby tax. Derby tax is a thing. And, I've seen a better Liverpool team this season fuck up Man City, bro. Brock them up. yo, we smoked up Man City and then got broke up by Nottingham Forest about 5 days, 6.5 days later. So, you know, I'm not quite sold, but there are many, many positives to take from the game. Before we start, guys, make sure we smash the like button. We've already got 40 people in the house, so make sure we smash the like button ASAP. I say like goal today, since you've only got another 40 minutes or so. How many likes are we saying, chat? Man, as well. G, guys, how many likes are we saying for today? 100?
100? Yeah, 100, man. Like, that's a minimum. I don't want to see any less.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
We'll keep it simple for today because it's a shorter stream. If it was a normal length stream, I'd be saying 150, 120. You know what I'm saying? But we'll go 100 today.
Who's is it PSG buying tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, PSG
okay.
buying tonight.
Good.
AC Tottenham as well. AC Tottenham.
Yeah, AC Tottenham.
Come on, AC.
Oliver skip that prawn cocktail you're playing in midfield. So yeah, man. Big up Casey in the chat. Obviously, big up Lakbeer Singh. Big up Solo in the chat. Big up Mr. MVP. Nah, listen, I'm not trying to hear cheap slander, my bro. I know Mr. MVP, my bro and that, bro, but like, I'm not hearing cheap slander. That's my guy. And anything when we're arguing, bro, it's never like serious or nothing, bro. That's my guy still. You know what I'm saying? Love always. Big him up forever, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the Forest. That was bottom of the table. Yes, rock solid bottom of the table, bro. It's a win. Let's see if there's consistency. Ty has said it best, bro. Big up Maradon as well. My dog. Big up Rash Islam as well. Man said, is it Fu Izzy? Fu Izzy's been on the channel, but I need to get him back on the channel still. I can't lie. Like, I need Fu Izzy back on the channel. Yeah, Fu Izzy, he's hilarious. Right? Big him up as well. But yeah, just to get things started, we have to start on Bajcetic, right? Where else? Where better to start, man? Kurdish, what's your thoughts on that, man? Because he bossed 3 hench African dons. And he
didn't look stressed. He didn't look stressed either, bro. He didn't look stressed. Do you know what? I was sat behind the dugout, so I had good view on the middle of the pitch, and I was watching him, and the first 25 minutes, he was first to everything. He really set the tone, and you know, it was clear what they wanted to do, and Klopp mentioned it as well after the game, but they wanted to make it a physical battle. But his footballing IQ was on the day was just a level ahead. So every time the ball came to him, he already knew what he was doing. So, but by the time they went into him, the ball was gone. He'd already moved on, and he composed, and he even made Jordan Henderson look good because of his positional awareness. And actually, you look at positives from this season, it's a huge positive. I'm just worried that we start playing him every game and we break him before he's even 21, 22. Because actually, if you manage him and then manage him correctly, you're looking like a serious play. It's very early days and I'm not getting too excited, but yesterday there were things he was doing with his body where off the ball, before he's got the ball, where I was going, that's very Sergio Busquets. You know, his the way he feints the ball, the way he protects it, and yeah, big talent. Man of the match, definitely for me. Yeah, definitely man of the match. Got a big Klopp hug when he came off. He looked happy. So yeah, man, positive. Really, really positive. What did you think, G?
Huh?
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. Like,
sorry, go on.
Go on.
No, go on. You go on.
No. I was just gonna say, yeah, I kind of agree. I actually agree with everything you said. Yeah, he looked calm. As you said, Everton, I thought they were gonna try and come with a physical battle. It was the only way that they could ever try and beat us, to be honest. Is if they were able to get that battle won, then yeah, they would have probably have gone on to win the game. Weren't able to do that. But before the game, I remember when we was doing the predictions over on Jerry's show, I remember, you know, I've had this, not issue, but always kind of thing, you know, is Bajcetic kind of ready and all that kind of stuff. And I had a little bit of a concern when I saw him in this game, because I thought these are the kind of games where you'll just end up drowning yourself, not because of the quality of the opposition. They're not, I prefer Bajcetic as a player, but just the physicality of it. You know, if they're able to impose themselves, you know, all 3 of those guys in the middle, you know, they're strong, athletic, that could get overrun. But as you said, man, he played his game. He played his game. And I think that surprised me. And I have to big him up for that, because I didn't really think he had that in his locker. Not to say Everton were like amazing or anything like that, but he had it enough in his locker where I like him on the ball. I've always liked him on the ball. He's always a player that I thought, you know what, for someone so young to be that confident on the ball, yeah, you can tell that if, as Kurt said, like manage that properly, perfect. And I agree with Kurt. I don't want really him playing all the time though. I think we almost, maybe not Thiago-esque, but we do need to manage it in a sense of between now and the end of the season. I think he's going to have a big role in what we do between now and the end of the season. And as he said, I'm not trying to see him by the age 21 played all the. This isn't a Steven Gerrard situation where, yeah, you're the kind of next hope and we need to play every single game, and we don't need to do that, man. Like I think, obviously between now and the end of the season, yeah, let's just see how it goes. Maybe put him on the bench for a couple of games. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the summer, though. That's where I'm really going to look. Who we sign, how Klopp wants to play it, because next season it's going to be a very big season because he's not Bajcetic, the guy that anybody doesn't know anymore. He's going to be Bajcetic, the guy that, yo, this guy's good on the ball. We might need to start pressing him a lot harder in games to stop Liverpool from kind of functioning in that midfield. So, but keep doing his thing, man. I like him.
100. I think what stood out. Sorry, Mods, go ahead, bro.
No, go on, bro. Go on.
I was just going to say what stood out, like I say, was he was almost a step ahead. If you watch him throughout the game, even when he's being caught, he's already passed the ball, and that was really the big standout for me. Like you say, you can pass the ball here and 3 yards, 4 yards, and it's actually knowing before you've lost the ball, knowing what move you've made and then how to protect the ball. And at the age that he was a centre back, before playing in midfield. So big player, big player. I'd like to say, just about managing him correctly.
100%. No, 100%. I think what is the most important thing with him again is that it's that player management, because he is young. And for me, this was by far his best game in the Liverpool top. Have there been games where he's disappointed me a little bit because I know how good he can be? Yeah, literally last week. Is it his fault? Absolutely not. Everyone was crap. So I'm not gonna even go into that too much. But what I would say is that I feel like he's played every game as a 6 so far, but this is the first game he played as an 8. He played Thiago's position. Is that something we need to look into as a possibility where playing Bajcetic as an 8, he looked more comfortable? As a 6, for me, even though we could see he's got talent, he still gave me vibes where this is why I called for him not to play today. Because I was worried about his physical attributes. I was worried about him having to make tackles. And he has picked up a few yellow cards already, making a few desperate lunges. But in the 8 position, he didn't have to do any of that. He didn't give away 1 foul in 90 minutes. Or have 80 minutes. How long he played, he didn't give away 1 foul. Again, in a derby. In a whole derby. Do you know how crazy that is? And he was still putting in challenges. So for me, there's a difference between making challenges as an 8 and as a 6. As a 6, you're almost like the last line of defense for the midfield and the backbone for the back 4, which I don't think he has the physicality. I don't think he's bulked up for that yet. However, as an 8, he wasn't the last line of defense. I feel like it's more of a clearer head. You've got another person behind you if you don't make the challenge. He was more measured off the ball, and he fought forward when he needed to, and he thrived off his confidence. So now I think playing him as an 8 is something we need to look into. I know it's only 1 game, but I'm a fan of going with what works. And everything we've tried so far this calendar year, hasn't worked. It has not worked. You know what I mean? So maybe it's time to move him out of DM and let him feel Thiago as long as he can.
No, the thing is, I hear it, man, and I agree. Sometimes you got to just, whatever works, if something just clicks, then sometimes you just got to go with it. Do you think then that will have, and this is Kurt as well, do you think Bajcetic's performances between now and the end of the season will have an impact on what we then do in the summer? In terms of like player personnel, for example, if let's just say we play him in that 8, in that kind of position, and he completely bangs, and we're like, this is your position now. You have to play here all the time. Like when you do play, do you still then? What happens with do we still have to sign like? Because remember, we got to think like Klopp, and we got to think like Liverpool. Obviously, hard to do because I don't even know what they're going to do. But so I always look at these kind of things, and I think sometimes it just depends, because someone can come out of the blue. Obviously, if an academy player can come out of, the woodworks and can potentially be that new player instead of you having to go sign someone, then I hear it sometimes. But at the same time, does that then stop us from saying, all right, we get Jude in, for example, buy a Jude Bellingham. Let's say we was going to get Jude, Nunes, and maybe one more midfielder. Bajcetic starts performing well. We've got Tyler Morton coming back. All of a sudden now, do you then start thinking, maybe he's not going to sign an extra midfielder because of that?
I said this over or never a foul. I said the one worry for me is Stefan plays too well. Liverpool are going to start getting sentimental again, and they're going to forget about midfield woes. And we're going to be a lot closer to the midfield crisis that we are if we don't buy a midfielder. I don't care how good he gets. For me, the problem still is there. And I'm not ready for the sentimental values to stop us from fixing the problem. Stefan is not the solution to the problem. He is an alternative to the problem. The problem is still there. It's very much, that's what I very much think. And before, I don't want to see # do we even need Jude? I don't want Chelsea or City signing Jude. And then I've got Liverpool fans saying, yeah, but we got Bajcetic though. What the hell? Are you crazy? I do not want to see that. So again, that's why I said I'm not saying I don't want him to play too good, but there is going to be a backlash if he does light up the scene. Because when you're a young player like that, there is guaranteed to be inconsistencies, unless your name is Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's going to be, and remember, Trent is a right back. It's centre mid game is different. It's different. There's always going to be inconsistencies. And the second those inconsistencies happen, you're back to square one. You're back to where we were, losing games, losing midfield battles all over the pitch. And I'm not prepared for that. So just to answer, so again, even we touched on it last stream, you just touched on it now. It doesn't matter how good he gets. The problem still there. You know what I mean? For me.
And it's not fair on the player. He's a baby. When we're talking about professional footballers, he's still a baby. You say to him next year, you're the guy starting for me in 90% of my games. As we said to you, by the time he's 22, he's burnt out, especially in the system that we play. There's no shame saying it. It's a great system, but actually it has its downfalls, and one of them is that it burns players out very, very quickly.
We run out of petrol, bro. Our tank is dead, bro. Like we ain't. You know what I'm saying? The mileage on our thing, Liverpool's mileage is dead, dead. Like Liverpool is a code, dead mileage. Don't get it with sports. We can put that thing in sport. Dead. It goes, but it goes like it
quick.
goes. Big up Mr. MVP. I said, okay, my bad. You just thought we was trying to disrespect with you. No, bro. If you see how many streams me and Shoops have done, bro, it's will never be actual disrespecting, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's family there. That's you know what I'm saying. That's big, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me just hit up the comments quickly. Big up Demo in the comments. Big up honestly. For the sticker, bro. I appreciate you for the donation, bro. I appreciate you always. Guys, make sure you are smashing the like button. We've still got around 50 people in the house at the moment, which is great, especially with the build up to the Champions League. I understand people are going to be busy doing other things, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to run this show nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? It's not just about the numbers, it's about getting the content out there for the people. Liverpool are blowing their entire transfer budget on a player, which is due. That's not sensible. As I said, whispers that we go for 3 midfielders. Again, Nunes, Mount, and Bellingham is the whispers, but we have to.
I don't want Mason Mount.
You know what I'm saying? We have to just see what happens. If there isn't an overhaul, we know that Liverpool aren't serious in it. If we have this kind of season and there isn't an overhaul, forget about it. Let's go back to the Hudson days. It's the Hudson era all over again. Just forget about it. Big up KLFC. Imagine having Gakpo and Nunes on the same team. That's peak. Say what you want. They put in their performances, so I will not stand here and slate them as I have been the last few weeks. Bajcetic game by numbers versus Everton. 100% aerial duels, 51 touches, 10 out of 12 final third passes completed, 5 ball recoveries, one of those leading to a goal, and 4 ground duels, 1 free long balls completed, 2 key passes. Excellent stuff. Excellent game by numbers. Next thing I wanted to talk about, and I need to hear this from the chat as well. By the way, Ram, if you want to jump in, let me know. Jamie, if you want to jump in, let me know. We got Mr. MVP, as he said, smash that like button. I'm gonna keep it real. Thiago doesn't play, we win our first game. Is there a correlation, or is it Derby tax?
Derby tax.
Yeah, I think it might be just
Jordan Henderson played the best game I've seen Jordan Henderson play in over 7 months.
But is that because the reliance didn't fall on one midfielder? Because we played as a midfield unit. We didn't play as a give the ball to Thiago. Thiago, please do something. I remember a similar time where Coutinho was the only person who could create. Like Liverpool, creating for Liverpool was like drawing blood from a stone unless Coutinho was given the ball. Like, do you remember the time, guys? I think it was 2015-16 when we tried to turn Coutinho into a deep line midfielder.
Mm.
Before his transfer request, before he went back out to the left wing and was just moving nuts. Just around the time before that, that part, like
I think Klopp just coming in.
Yeah. Klopp was kind of just coming in, so he was kind of rejuvenating Coutinho. But it was before, it was under Rodgers, I believe, and Coutinho wasn't almost in that diamond. He wasn't kind of in the diamond doing bits of Stevie anymore. It was that 15-16 where we got battered by Stoke on the final day. Them times where Sterling was all up front. But horrible times in it. But
good times.
There was a time where obviously Coutinho was just given the ball in very deep positions, and he wasn't really. And it was like sometimes when he'd step out the team, the team would play a bit more as a unit. Is there a similar correlation with Thiago? I don't think there is, but I think it's definitely a conversation to be had, in my opinion.
I think maybe we give it another, and we're going to have to give it another 2-3 games.
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
We've got no choice.
Literally.
But I don't know. I thought yesterday, the midfield, like I say, Jordan Henderson had the best game I've seen in a long time. Fabinho was okay. They were just up for it. Everyone was up for it yesterday, and I don't know if I'll say Thiago is the reason. I just think, I hate to say this, but when Jordan Henderson plays good, we play good football. This is just, it's been a known fact. Anytime Jordan Henderson has usually played a good game, we're a good team. And the sad reality is Jordan Henderson doesn't have the legs to play a good game of football more than 2 games in a row. And this is what we're dealing with. And
But do you know, I was saying this yesterday in the call, I feel like with Jordan Henderson, he's not the same. He's not the player he was. I think we can all come to terms with that. I think that's the obvious. But even when Jordan Henderson, as you'd say, he's washed. He is kind of washed. But it's like what he offers off the ball is more important to the system than what a lot of other players bring to the team just with their technical ability. So, for example, Hendo's overlaps and his covering of Trent is almost as important as, say, a Thiago 60-yarder cross football. You know what I mean? Or Thiago beating someone on the half turn. Or let's say, I don't know, Nunes spinning in behind all the time. There's certain things that happen in the team. And I think one of the most important things is giving Salah the leeway and protecting Trent. It's so key to the system. Henderson can't do it as efficiently because he can't run as fast. Again, his legs aren't there. But he can still do it from time to time. Like Curtis said, he can't play week in, week out. You'll get one good Chendo performance in 3 because his legs are gone. Henderson had a brilliant game off the ball. But for me, on the ball, Henderson was okay on the ball. But off the ball, excellent. He was so good. He didn't, again, another one who didn't give away a single foul. He didn't commit a single foul in the game, but was everywhere. He was everywhere.
I think when I look at the midfield yesterday, I think one thing that I noticed was that we didn't really try to even really play in the midfield, which obviously we probably couldn't anyway, just because you got Hendo, Fabinho, and Bajcetic. So most of our, I was doing stats on the game and stuff like that. Trent didn't make one accurate cross in the entire game, and Robert, I think, only made 1 to 3, if that. I can't remember exactly, but it was very, very low. What they did well was they played a lot of long balls, and we saw that a lot of balls in behind for Nunes and Salah to just run onto, do their thing, blah, 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 blah. Because we weren't really playing. I didn't feel like there was a lot of passages of play. I kept saying that, we're not really playing football, but we're able to just kind of contain them. They're happy for us to have the ball. And when we do have the ball, we are trying to obviously hit Nunes. Again, Nunes is going to be a threat regardless. So you're going to look for that ball more often than not. So that's what Robbo was trying to do. And then Salah as well, with his pace in behind, with Milenko obviously trying to then push up himself, trying to help out that midfield. I always felt like that long ball was always going to be on, in behind the channels on the left and the right. So it's like we didn't play in the middle, which kind of took away from those guys. Henderson, as you said, off the ball, really good. Bajcetic off the ball, really good. And on the ball when he had to be. Fabinho looked okay, because he doesn't have to do too much. We're not asking him to, when he's with a Thiago, I think, as you said, we have that reliance. Maybe the team just have a reliance because it's Thiago, isn't it? Like,
but
we're going to have a certain level of reliance.
The Thiago Fab combination was unbeaten in forever at one point.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I think that was more of a coincidence, I don't actually I feel like that was.
Nah, they were bracking up. Nah, they were bracking up teams, bro.
Yeah.
They were bracking up teams when Fabinho had legs and Thiago was doing his thing. It didn't even matter who played right centre mid. Harvey coming at the start of the season and was bossing in right centre mid.
Yeah, do you remember? He looked like one of the best players we had. Yeah,
it didn't matter. As soon as you had Fab and Thiago, bro. It doesn't. Obviously, the fall off after that was colossal. But them two, that's what was needed. That was the spine. And now that the spine is jarred, let's say the spine's a bit. You know what I'm saying? Peter says Monts Fabinho and Thiago worked because we dropped the high line to accommodate Kabak and Phillips. No. Before the injuries, bro. Very, very start of the season. We started very well. That's Hendo now, Monts. He will be quality if he plays once in a while. Yeah, I said 1 in 3 games. I said 1 in 3. I said 1 in 3, bro. Thiago has a dead Fabinho and there's no help in the middle, bro. Fabinho, I'm not really too happy with it's too many excuses for man. Sorry, my throat is dying again. Pause. I hate being ill. Don't worry, Rami. Don't worry, my bro. Don't worry, man. We got you, bro. But yeah, that's what I think as well. Another thing I wanted to touch on quickly, I know we're moving on quite fast, is whoa, it's magic. We've got Cody Gakpo. It's magic.
It's the fact that man did the pop before.
Cody Gakpo. Sorry, I had to do that one. I'm telling you, that's my thing. That will be ringing around Anfield the next time we back. That will be ringing around Anfield. Yeah, get that clip. Someone put it on a TikTok because I don't use TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Get that one out there. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, singing that on the Coppish Watch Along. But listen, he was very meaty up until the quiz. What, you're not rating that one? It's decent, though.
The worst thing about it, yeah, the tune is just so catchy that it will just catch on regardless of anything. It's gonna catch on regardless. You send that to the right people, you'll get that played out in that watch.
He looked like a player in the second half, He looked like a player.
Before the goal, I'd say very mediocre again, very passenger-like. A few decent little drops of the shoulders, but again, very much passenger-like. Soon as he scored that goal, he didn't even celebrate. He was very much relieved. He looked like a relieved man after getting that goal, which means he's definitely feeling the pressure. Relief, when you feel relieved, that comes from pressure being felt. And should he have felt this much pressure coming into the team? Absolutely not. But we're in the situation that we're in. And the fact that he turned it on, he looked like the false 9 that Klopp thinks that he looked like a false 9 in that second half. The false 9 that we're like, this guy's a false 9. The false 9 that Klopp saw that we were all just like scratching in our head kind of thing.
Like, right, hey? Maybe the manager was right, but we won't go into that. Won't go into that.
Do you know what? That's still a conversation where I'm open, because again, Callum wanted Darwin in the middle and Gakpo out left, and I said, nah, Cal, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Darwin out left is the thing. As a striker, he ain't it. On the left though, problems.
Just pace.
Still needs a lot to work on, but on the left, such a problem, bro. He's so quick, it's a joke. Finish
for the goal.
Yeah, finish. But again, he done that against City. No,
but that's what I'm saying. But you saw for the first goal that breakaway, like whoever the right back, I can't remember who that was, they weren't catching him. Like as soon as I saw the run, I said, I didn't even see the point. You should have just called the other defender to just come in and help you, because he was never going to catch him. You're better off trying to call someone, get a foul or something.
Look at the man with the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
He's quick. You know what I'm saying? That's a joke. And obviously, I don't know what Pickford was doing for the goal. I'm sorry. My reaction, I was like, what's Pickford done? I was like, what's Pickford doing? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he was doing for that. But what I would say is that for me, the finishing is still an issue for Darwin. Still a very big issue. Doesn't seem... It's just not instinctive. But if he can keep doing that on the left wing, I'll be happy with that. And I'm happy to keep him in the team rather than just throw Jota and Bobby in. Because Jota looked like he forgot how to play football when he come on the pitch. I love him to bits, but
there was one move he did, like he looked like he kind of slipped. I was like, ooh, like he kind of had to catch his feet. I was like, yo, Jota, just relax a little bit because you're the type of person that will miss it and then that's it. Now you're out for 7 weeks, and it's like, what? How did that happen?
Like, just drop. You know what I'm saying? That's when you just drop. You know what I mean? Just don't do any of that silly.
But I think when we look at someone like a Gakpo, obviously, as Kurt said before, man, this is all, you know, when we're talking about like Thiago and talking about now about Gakpo, Bajcetic as well. When it's one game and things look good, yeah, it's great. I think where we're going to judge this, and people were speaking, you know, before and after the game, you know, saying turning point. I don't believe in turning points after one game. I don't think there's any such thing. I think you look at a turning point after like 10, like if you've been through like a bad period. I think after you've got to like that 10th game, then you look back on that first game where you got that winning run started. That's where we're then saying, okay, we can kind of see what was going on. Gakpo starting to come into his own potentially, and all of this, because the reality is we know Hendo and Fabinho ain't going to start games. So what then happens when Thiago does come back into the squad? Do we still play the same as say we did, you know, against Everton last night? You know, when we see a Keita in there or when we see a Thiago in there. So it's going to be obviously a lot more different. Jota's coming back, as you said. So I look at it and I just think to myself, I think last night is a game I just looked at in isolation. Like I tried even doing like the post-match and stuff, I was like, more time I'll always get onto the team and think, nah, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. But I try to just look at the game in this isolation and certain things kind of worked. We'll know come the middle of March how much that actually worked when, you know, Jota comes back, Van Dijk comes back, Firmino comes back into the team, Gakpo is probably going to get dropped. Jota might start coming back into play. Does Núñez always start? You know, the team now, all of a sudden, the team just looks a lot more healthier, a lot more bulkier. We've got players now who are coming back in. Maybe the team starts looking different, but I don't feel like we're going to play the same way as we did. I think it's going to be a different type of playing style when these guys kind of come back into play. Whether that's going to be good or bad, we'll just have to wait and see that.
100. No, it's 100%. I think the midfield combinations are going to be a little bit of a headache with Bajcetic looking as good as he does. Now that I think Verge will come back, I think Verge steps back into the team for Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I think, again, next thing, the centre-backs did look good. Apart from Matip's brain fart, they were pretty much flawless for the whole game.
What was he doing? Hey, Kurt, obviously, you was at the game, man. When you saw that, what was your heart doing? I would have been fucking shit.
This was the thing. This was the whole crowd just stopped. Everybody just stopped for a good 3 seconds. And the issue you have is they have bozo moments in them, and he had a bozo moment, and we'd get punished in a different game. And there goes the difference, because that's what happened against Wolves. They had 2 bozo moments, and we got punished both times. And you can't rely on that, man. You can't go into games where both your centre backs have got bozo moments in them. Joe Gomez looked a lot better, but again, that first 25 minutes when Matip did that, bro, I was just there going, oh.
I felt like Sims kind of had them. Like Sims was a bit comfortable. He was putting his weight about in the first like 20 minutes. After that,
for like the first 45 seconds of the game, that Sims guy was.
You know who worried me the most? I'll be honest, was Fabinho. His legs look like they've gone. Like,
seriously,
in real life, is it worse? Is it looking bad in real life?
It's bad in real life, bro. I've been on keep the Fabinho, but after watching him yesterday, I'm there going, we may need something new, and we may need it ASAP. He can't get about, bro. He's late to everything. He's late to everything.
He needs to go Serie A now. I generally think Fabinho's body, stop letting him do what he's done. I'm happy, but we need to be ruthless. We have to.
You say Serie A. I say no. That's going to be too. that requires probably too much of physicality that he might not even be on doing. I think like more of a like a La Liga.
Anyone slow looks fast in that league. I'm not trying to hear that one.
Nah, well, bro, La Liga. That's where I'm thinking. Go there, just play football. Pass, like that's it. We just need you to pass the ball. We don't need you to do any tough tackling. Like name me, I can't even really think of many tough tacklers out there in the La Liga over there. But in Italy, I can name you quite a few tough tacklers in there where I'm like, they're quite mobile anyway, kind of thing. They would be able to get about. Whereas in La Liga, I feel like more possession-based game where he just needs to get on the ball, pop it back. You know what I mean? We don't need you doing too much. Don't need you tracking runners. Just pop the ball, bro, and then you can go about your business. But if Kurds is saying in real life it was looking peak, then he's got to go. I can't lie. He has to go in the summer. That has to be part of the revamp.
I've wanted him to stay, bro, and I think you get the right people around him. But when you're the worst midfield out of Jordan Henderson and a young kid, it's saying something. You know, at least Henderson, I know it's 1 and 3, but he looked like he could run. There were times where I was saying, when you look at Stefan was a level ahead. He knew how to move his body. He knew how to protect the ball. He knew when to fade, and he knew everything right. Fabinho was the complete opposite. He looked like he was a step behind everything. So it was almost like his mind wanted him to do something, but his legs just wouldn't let him. And then he was 3 seconds late. And as you know, that's all you need. At that level, if you're 3 seconds late to a ball, it's gone. It's gone. And I don't know how you get that back, man. I don't know how you get that back.
I hear it. It's facts though. People, first of all, quickly, just make sure we stop and make sure we go and subscribe to GTV. Obviously, he's doing great things. I know he's on the road to 300, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So make sure you go and subscribe to him ASAP. We are running very tight for time, 7 minutes till kickoff, so we are going to move it on soon. Mo Salah. Mo Salah.
Yeah, where's Ish? Where's Jerry? Yeah, where you at, bro? Where you at? Because I didn't see anybody message me in group chats when Mo Salah was scoring goals. Yeah, you guys, Rom, this is for you. This is directly. Where's the camera? This is directly for you, bro. I didn't hear anyone message me. That's all I'm saying. I didn't get any pings on my phone when Mo Salah scored his goal.
Again, it's because their goat Carvalho is in the basement, and that's what it is, bro.
Sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes, obviously, look. I'm not gonna. And Mo's my guy. You already know the vibes with him. I've always said it. Like he's the type of guy where he'll have a game like yesterday, but then next game, and I said it. I felt like his performance weren't even too dissimilar to other games he's really had. The real difference was what was going on in and around him, though. And I felt like that helps him out. Exactly. And sometimes in other games, he'll play kind of a similar way. Like he'll play that kind of same game that he played, but he ain't getting the goal or anything. So,
but this is what I'm saying. If you wait for Salah, if you sit back and don't help Salah and wait for him to do something, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah,
it's
man.
Not gonna happen.
Not that type of guy.
Literally. So again, like people say what you want about Mo, he got the goal. He got the all-important goal. Do you know what I'm saying? It was needed. I'm not gonna lie. Pickford was doing some stupidness, but at the end of the day, Mo looked brilliant because of Henderson working around him, busting the gut to get around and give him that space. Was he still a bit wasteful in the final third? I personally think he could have had 3 goals if he was the old Salah. Personally, I think he's been very tame with his finishing of recent, but I think that will come back. As I said, he's had to play with the most combinations of attackers since the start of the season, and he's managed to keep himself fit. Touch wood, unlike other players. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is one of them ones, really. It's.
I wonder what he does in training. I'm quite intrigued to actually know what his training schedule, and is it just genetics? Is it just his makeup? Because he is not getting injured, and it's not like he doesn't get himself kicked about in game. Like he's not just there. I saw Milenko was going in on
challenges. He was riding enough challenges, bro. And I think that's the Salah I'm happy to see if we can support him. As much as I love Núñez to bits, we can't make him the focal and focus of Liverpool Football Club. It will not go well at this current time. It will not end well. You have to focus on Salah and then have the support from Núñez. But do it the other way around. You know what I'm saying? With Bobby back in the team, it'll be very interesting to see what front line we start going with. I think Verge steps back in. I think there's no question with that. And then now I look at the front line and I go, does Gakpo get dropped even though he's just scored? Does Núñez get dropped even though he's had a brilliant performance on the weekend? how do we really go against Newcastle? I think Klopp goes with the same team, and I think Jota and Firmino try a thing after that. But I'm not gonna lie, Jota and Firmino off the bench are not it still. Them man need to start to really get them man going. But I don't think it's time. Them man aren't fit enough to start for me. I think we can go 1 or 2 more games. I think we need to cook them ready for Madrid, if I'm being honest. I don't do Nunez and Gakpo versus Madrid. Gakpo gets dropped from Madrid.
I would do Nunez against Madrid, though.
Yeah, I said Gakpo. Yeah. I didn't say I'll drop. I dropped Gakpo.
Yeah. But Nunez, I think he has to play because of what he offers. I don't know. Is Militao going to be fit? I don't know their situation at right back.
We need something explosive to cause problems. We need. I hate to say, we need the chaos gene. We need the chaos gene.
We listen. This is one of them games where I'm like, Champions League, I just need it. Just give me chaos.
It's a good alternative. Yeah, it's a good alternative. It is a good alternative. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and thoughts on Klopp before we finish. Thoughts on Klopp because a lot of criticism. But he needs to get his. I said I'll criticize Klopp, and I have been criticizing Klopp. I'm not Klopp out, but I have been criticizing him for the majority of the season. I do think he's to blame for 80% of the fuckeries this season he's been doing. However, he got it spot on for that derby. Not a single bad performance on the pitch. Spot on. Even the subs were great. Go on, Kurdish.
He looked relieved. He looked relieved from the moment. The atmosphere was really good yesterday. He came onto the pitch, and as soon as he came to the dugout, he faced us, and he hit his chest. And I think he really appreciated the atmosphere. Really, really appreciated it. And throughout the game, he wasn't his normal self where he's up and down the sideline. But what he did look every time we scored, he looked like the weight of the world had just gone off his shoulders. You know, and at the end, the only time I've seen him really do it, where he hugs everybody, he didn't miss a single person out, was the Champions League final when we won. I don't know if you guys have seen the 6-minute clip where they follow him, but he hugged every single member of his backroom staff. And I think he looked relieved. And there was one thing which really it stuck with me. There was 10 minutes in the first half. It must have been between 29 minutes to about the 39th, 40th minute. And Jordan Henderson was covering. But Trent was playing in between Gakpo and Salah. Literally on the 18-yard box for 10 minutes, we were keeping the ball. And I didn't understand why he was playing almost as a right forward. It was really strange. He had
doing his best Cancelo impression, isn't it?
It was strange, bro. And it was for 10 minutes because we kept the ball. And I noticed that I was thinking at some point, Trent's going to come out and Salah's going to go back in. But for 10 minutes, they kept that shape. And I thought, I don't know what it is you're trying to achieve here, but a relieved man. That's what he was. He was a relieved man.
I echo that. I think, he needed the win, man. Yeah, I mean, like he can't have people like me getting on to him every single week, man. He needs that win. just as Kurt said, it is having that relief of just, all right, cool. You know what? We've got a win now. Now, got a win, and it was a decent enough performance. There wasn't really much to even really go because his options were quite limited anyway. So I felt like he played the team probably that you probably would have. Maybe some people want to cater, maybe Ox or stuff like that, maybe. But with the way that it panned out, that Hendo was always coming in. He needs that kind of leadership in these kind of games, someone to be able to just calm it down when we need and amp it up when we need. He said all the kind of like right things and stuff like that. But one thing I will say, not negative or anything, what I do want now moving forward is I think we need to get back to that 18, 19, 19, 20 mentality, which is, I remember after every game that we was playing, every time, say, Jordan Henderson, Andrew Robb, whoever was doing the post-match conference thing, every game it was, we're already on to the next game. All right, cool, this game's done. Who cares? Yeah. I don't even care about this game anymore because we've already won. We've moved on now. We're moving on to the next game where our head is already focused on that game. Our head is already there. We're already mentally preparing for that game. And I think that has been lost this season because we've been poor, but it's almost like we keep dwelling on the previous games, even if it's been the 3-0 losses or 3-1s to this, whatever it is. I felt like we've been dwelling. Klopp's also been dwelling on that. Forget all of that. Who cares about it? The game's done now. You can't do anything about the game anymore. Let's focus all of our attention now to Newcastle. What can we do to stop Newcastle doing whatever it is they do well, and what can we do to affect the game. Once we get back to that, I think the team, the mentality in the team will change. Once that changes, I think you'll see an upturn in results, regardless of who's playing.
No, I hear it. I hear it. But appreciate that, guys. We're gonna have to end it there. The game is kicking off as we speak. Curtis, where can the people find you, bro?
It's just Kurdish Ball 93 on Twitter. You'll see me on This Is Football, Football Terrace sometimes. Maybe here a few more times. Thank you for having me on, Monts man. Everyone liking and subscribe to the channel. Monts is doing a lot of work for you guys.
Appreciate that, man. Obviously, we've been doing a lot, and obviously, this is a very short Liverpool show. But I'm pretty sure next week we'll be going a little bit earlier, and I'll have at least an hour and 20 minutes for you guys. Sorry, this one was a short one. Big up everyone. Make sure.
When do we play? Tuesday or Wednesday?
I don't know. I don't want to know at this moment in time. G, where can the people find you? You probably know already, but remind them one more time.
Yeah, man. GTV, man. GTV. Catch me. Jerry James, This Is Football sometimes. And yeah, as Kurt said, man, just everyone like, subscribe. Monts is doing, as I said, he's doing a lot of work. Everyone's putting in the time. A lot of the content creators are putting a lot of time into this season specifically, obviously, as well, with how we've been and stuff like that. We're pouring our hearts out, people. So, you know what I mean, man? Let's like the content, man. Like the content.
Appreciate you, man. All right, we are going to end it there. Tune into the UCL. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the City Arsenal build up. But until then, big up everyone. Make sure you subscribe to these guys. Subscribe to Bigsixbants if you're watching this back, and we will see you in the next one. Big up Liverpool. Let's hope we can get